Hey there, Descendants, my fellow Americans, and people in other countries around the world. How are y'all doing today? Hope you're all doing well. Before we get into today's video, if you do enjoy the content that you see, please do consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Also, if you're in the market for some energy supplements, head on over to w.gg and use code Ascending Rift at checkout. It's going to be on screen for you right now. Capital A, capital R, no space. Today, we're just going to be addressing some bugs and providing some suggestions about the first Descendant. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so for the bugs, we're going to try to showcase them as best as we possibly can. So for the first one I have listed here, it is the grappling hook sometimes canceling out. Now this could be just simply a matter of me pressing the button twice, but I have actually had people kind of concur this sentiment and say that they have experienced it a few times. It's a very rare occurrence, but it does happen every now and then. The next one that I have listed here is going to be voice chat is very buggy between different platforms. So for example, if you're on PC and your friend is on console, it's going to be very buggy, and sometimes it's just going to be pretty bad quality using the in-game voice chat and stuff like that. So this is just something, that I felt was worth mentioning. The next thing on the list is sometimes when you deploy the bike, you have to press the boost button twice to trigger the action. Let me see if I can get this actually properly showcased here. Yeah, see right there, I had to press it twice. So this is a pretty common occurrence. I would say it happens probably around 50% of the time. It's not too terrible. It's definitely not that prominent of an issue. It might more so just be I'm pressing the button slightly too early as well before the game can properly register the action, but yeah. The next thing that we're going to talk about here is simply the keyboard glitch on PlayStation 5. This is actually fixed. Makes me such a happy camper, man, because I've been talking about this for a few months now. Okay, so it seems like that is actually fixed. So the next one we're going to talk about here is actually something that I experienced yesterday. And it's when you link items into the Whisper chat channel, the recipient is unable to view the item. So this is actually a prominent glitch, and it is still occurring. So Nexon, if you could please look into that, that would be very nice. And I think this one is still prominent as well, even though I haven't experienced it when I've been fighting Infernal Walker. And it is having 2 lives taken instead of 1 when dying during a Colossus Intercept battle if this hasn't been fixed yet. So the only reason why I said if this hasn't been fixed yet is because I was streaming last night, and I had a few people in my chat, and I asked them, and pretty much everyone besides one person had said that they haven't experienced it during Infernal Walker. So it might just have something to do with their installation file and stuff like that. Maybe they just need to reinstall the game and maybe that'll fix it or something along those lines. But it also could just be a bug that I've been lucky enough to not experience. But yeah, that's going to be it for the bug section. Let's go ahead and head back to Albion, and we'll talk about these suggestions because most of this stuff is going to be displayed in Albion. Alrighty, so for the first suggestion, it's going to be about the ETA Zero Shop once again. I'm sure you guys might be tired of hearing about this at this point because I've mentioned it 2 or 3 times. And unfortunately, the ATA Zero Shop is not open right now, so I can't necessarily give physical examples. But what I have written down here is Catalyst Blueprints could be bumped up to 10 in the ETA shop per weekend, so able to acquire 10 Crystallization Catalyst Blueprints per weekend. And in general, the ETA shop just needs an overhaul. So concurrently, you can hold up to, let me see if I can find them here. Let me go to... is it under miscellaneous? Yeah, so you can hold up to 600 premium ETA vouchers. I feel like if this number was raised to even 900, that would be really, really good. And the reason why we want this number to be raised is because there are so many blueprints. Like, if I just type in Haley here, I mean, dude, look at how many blueprints I have. I even have an extra Haley stable. I didn't even know I had that. But yeah, I have 449 of the Haley data chip. I have 1289 of the spiral catalyst, and then you can just see here, right? So I have way too much stuff for Haley, and that's just one of, if we just let me see here, is it under core materials? Is that, yeah? So if we just scroll the blueprints here, I have dupes of nearly everything in the game, right? Look at this right here. For this, dude, 166 blueprints. There's so much inventory fluff. 161 there. There's just so much stuff, and for Serena and Inez and stuff like that, I actually like collecting their blueprints. It's just a little niche thing that I like to do personally. But like in general, this stuff is actually eating... Dude, this stuff does make you load in longer in the game. Like, because it has to load each and every individual blueprint into the files. Like whenever you first load into the game. And I'm pretty sure whenever you transition into a new area, it has to load these blueprints as well as the actual area itself. It has to render it properly. So this stuff actually does affect like how long it takes to play the game. And it's a very minuscule amount, you know what I mean? But like as time goes on and as they add more content and stuff like that, this is going to become a larger and larger issue, you know? Like when they add more modules, like just more content in general to the game, and you have dupes upon dupes of everything, it's going to take you way longer to just load into the game. So if we nip this in the bud now, if we give the ETA Zero Shop an expansion and overhaul, and we just expand the limit of the, you know, the golden ETA vouchers to even 900, that would be such a big help. It would have way more of an impact than people might actually realize. So again, you know, I want an ETA shop overhaul. Now the next thing on the list, this is going to be more so for bossing, but I guess it can apply to mobbing as well, is having a lock-on ability being implemented into the game, similar to how the Soulsborne series has. So if you're on console, you would simply just click the right stick to be able to just lock onto the boss, right? And I mean, I know my Soulsborne players, it's a lifesaver in Soulsborne games, it really is. Because you can see what the enemy's doing at all times, you're able to properly assess and strategize your next move and stuff like that. And in this game, I feel like the Void Abyss Colossus, if you're able to lock onto them, it would be a lot more helpful than just having to, you know, move your camera around and stuff like that and keep them in your eyesight, right? So I want a lock-on ability to be implemented, and of course it would be optional, you know, not everyone has to use it, whatever. But the next thing I would like is something similar to Sigma Sector, and it is new siloed areas with different objectives / maps each time you play. Now, as far as I'm aware, Sigma Sector is the only mission type in the game that does this besides breach tracking. But breach tracking has like I believe it's between 3 to 5 different maps, whereas Sigma Sector you have 4 or 5 different maps for each section, for Isolated Desert and for Broken Boundary. So I want something like that to return to the game at some point. Maybe for breach tracking they can expand upon it and make it more similar to Sigma Sector in terms of like, you know, how many different like spawning points because for Sigma Sector it pretty much is like 1 or 2 maps, but it's different spawning points, so it feels like different maps. So like something like that would be really, really nice for like a future, you know, mission type or even a current mission type or whatever the case might be. Also, something else is something to do with the laboratory. Let's go ahead and head into the laboratory really quickly. Okay, so let me just go ahead and we'll just spawn, I don't know, Infernal Walker Challenge, right? Turn on his invincibility. So essentially, if you take a look at the right side of the screen, obviously this is for our DPS, right? I mean, you can see that right there. As soon as I attack him, the numbers start changing. Just go ahead and throw that. So just to give a visual example here, what if on the left-hand side of the screen, we could make it to where he can attack us, we can have our own sense of invincibility, and we can see just how much damage we're taking, we can see how much fire damage we're taking, we can see how much physical damage we're taking, and we can use this to further gauge how defensive our build is and how much we can handle in the actual fights. What if we did something like that? You know, something like the mobs as well. You know what I mean? Like we can just go in here. We have every single Legion in the game. We can change their level, their quantity, their formation, you know, stuff like that. But what if instead of just having that to where they're just our punching bags, what if we can turn ourselves into the punching bag and see just how much health we're losing at any given time? You know, I feel like that would be really, really good. Like just something like that would be, it's such a simple thing because so many games do it, but for some reason they haven't done it for this game yet, which I mean, that's okay. Also, as for the next suggestion, new animations for characters idling would be nice at some point in the future. This is more of a change that I'm okay with waiting for. You know, I mean, honestly, even if it took like an entire year or something like that, that's okay. Alright, so for the next suggestion, it would be to be able to restart a dungeon or void intercept battle at any point in the mission via menu. So, essentially, it would be somewhere in here, and instead of return to Albion, right underneath return to Albion, it would just simply say restart mission. This feels like such an obvious thing, but it's not in the game yet for whatever reason. I mean, I'm sure it's probably lower on the priorities list if it's even on the list at all, but this is definitely something that I want to see in the game at some point. Another thing is, so if we bring up the map here and we bring up the legend for Albion, expand upon the map legend for Albion and other maps with a brief explanation as to the purpose of said workbench / mission / character, as well as labeling the workbench / mission icons on the normal heads-up display. So if we take a look here and we pull up the legend, right, you can see that everything is labeled here on the legend, but there's no explanation. So if a player loads into the game, they're going to be like, what the hell is Ananias? What's a Deslan? You know, what's Seneca? Like the mailbox and stuff like that, that's pretty obvious, right? There's the obvious stuff, and then there's the stuff that's specific to the game. They're going to be like, what's ETA0? What's Sienna? What's Void Vessel? What's Eckert? There's so many things, like, in Albion that are available, and this is one of the reasons why one of my friends, like, you know, he tried the game out, but he was like, this game, I can't wrap my head around this game. It's simply because simple things like this are just, I mean, you're left with question marks when you look at this. Like, sure, you know, you got the self-explanatory thing, like the lounge social, you know, the trading terminal, the ancestor module adjuster. I mean, well, the ancestor module adjuster is not super obvious, but, you know, it's more obvious than something like, okay, Ananias, you know. Like, if it said right underneath it, something along the lines of, this is where you research new items and characters, that would be really nice, you know, just a one line of text, just to kind of provide a little bit more of an explanation. Another thing. Okay, so now we can set a waypoint. Wait, we can't? Oh yeah, we can. So we can set a waypoint. Oh wow, this actually expands upon my suggestion a little bit. So it'd be nice if we could just set a random waypoint like somewhere on the map. I mean, I know that wouldn't serve much purpose, but like it just seems like such a small thing. Okay, but so to bring me to my original point, when you set a waypoint, you are the only person in your party that can see that waypoint. Right? You can ping, and other people can see that as well. But for specific waypoints, you're the only person who can see that. And it's like, why is that? If you're in a party of 2 or more people, everyone in the party should be able to see your waypoints. So that's something that I feel like they could add to the game. Also, for the instant cast ability, let's go ahead and pull that up here under options. Let me see. It's under gameplay, I'm assuming. So instant cast. Yeah, so instant cast mode. Expand upon the instant cast ability to where we can select it for specific characters instead of just every single Descendant. So I feel like this, I mean, this is something that one of my viewers brought up, and I think is a really good idea. I feel like this should definitely be implemented into the game at some point. Like once we get more characters that are utilizing instant cast, this could definitely be an option that they look into. Also, it would be nice, so this is my next suggestion, it would be nice if we could press and hold the change channel button to instantly return to the normal chat channel. So for example, if I go here, then I go to system, then I go here, and then I go, well, let me just pull this person up right here, just to whisper them. So if I go here, go here, go here, and then go here, oh, it goes back to normal. Huh. But if you actually whisper to them, it goes to whisper first, and then it goes back to normal. So if you could just press and hold that button to simply go back to the normal chat channel, that would be super nice, I think. And the last suggestion for today is if we could press and hold the exit button to exit all menus, that would be nice. Oh my god, listen. Let me just go ahead and open customize here. Let me go ahead and open Descendant skins, body skin. Watch how long it takes me to get out of this and back to the game. I'm pressing the button as fast as I can here. Look at that. That's like 3 whole seconds, dude. When you could just simply implement a, hey, press and hold to exit all menus. You know what I mean? I feel like that would be a really good change as well. But yeah, I think that about does it for this video. Let me know down in the comments below if you agree or disagree with my suggestions. If you disagree, please be respectful, and we can have a conversation about it. If you enjoyed the video, please do consider hitting that subscribe button down below. And yeah, and I will be live on TFD tomorrow after maintenance, so stick around for that in about 22 hours from the date, or the date and time of recording this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.